Hey guys, I know I haven't made a video in a minute, and actually I have, but I ended up not really liking it, so I didn't wish to post it or do anything with it. It was really scatterbrained and I felt very rushed because I don't really have a whole lot of time at home by myself, and I feel very self-conscious if I'm talking and doing this if I know that somebody else is home or going to be home or whatnot. So I have a moment alone, and I guess the topic that I can feel the most relevant to my point in time is just like what's been kind of like repeating in my head. And I feel like it's kind of a common thing if something just like kind of affects someone, or just like words that just like kind of just something that repeats in your head like repetitively, like countless times in a day or in a week or whatever, and it just like doesn't leave your mind, and it's just like a haunting like series of words or like an image or something. So mine right now, or I guess lately, and kind of always has been, but especially like lately, and I can't honestly say that I really know why, besides being like so critical of myself, is I hate myself. And of course, hate is like one of those strong words, especially to use towards yourself, and especially for me when I'm working so much on loving myself and being proud of myself. I'm very, very hard on myself, and if I feel like, oh, like I should be here by now, I should be, should have started a career, should have done this and done that, and blah blah, like woulda, coulda, shoulda, like never ending. And I'm really, like, I feel like I guess I do kind of live like that kind of person, like where I'm just constantly more so focused on what I could have done as opposed to what I could do now. But I do try very hard to focus more on like what I could do now. But what I'm finding myself tending to do is just I get really lost in doing like this research of like the way I'd like to dress more regularly, or like ideas for things that I could do but I don't fulfill them, or like I get really lost in like backstories of people, especially people that are no longer here. And just like I know I've gotten like messages and praises from like friends and strangers or whatnot about like me influencing or helping someone even without me trying. And I guess when it comes down to it, I just like what it all is, and when it comes to like career choice, which makes it difficult for me to like really decide sometimes. Like at the same time, who says I have to decide? Like I really fucking don't. I can do multiple things. I'm a creative person. It's hard for me to think of just doing one thing forever. But anyways, I just like want to make a difference, and I want to help people and help animals, and like I've been generally a good amount of my life, I'd say, a pretty negative thinker overall, but like I am surrounded consistently by some very positive people, generally positive for sure, where like normally my reaction would be way worse, and then like I even for a second almost have that normal reaction for myself, but then I react differently and I'm like, whoa, who am I? Like, what is this? Like, this is good. Like, I'm making progress. Like, an example per se. Got in a car wreck like a month and a half ago. Totaled my car. It's been a hell of a process. And then just whatever. So I ended up being owed money for my car for like the difference for what it was worth and whatnot. And I was told I was most likely going to get, a certain amount, and then I got the check and it was less than what I was told. And I was frustrated because we me with numbers. If you know me, it's just like numbers. It's just like a constant calculator in my head, and it's really frustrating. It's never ending. I just think about numbers and money, and it's just like nonstop. It's really like exhausting. But I had this like number in my head, so I'm like, oh, like I thought I was gonna get this, and then not my initial reaction, but reaction within like a couple minutes was like, well, hey, it's something. It could have been nothing. I could have gotten nothing back, and whatever. So me saying like to myself, like, hey, well, at least it's something. That's not a normal thing for me, and that's a part of how I know that I'm improving like as a person and with like the way that I'm thinking. So I know that I'm always making some kind of progress, but I also feel like I'm also not, and like I feel like I'm growing in something, but I'm also lacking in something else. And I mean, I'm not pinpointing one particular thing. I think overall the thing is for me right now is like just really trying to figure out like what do I want to do that will make me happy. And overall, like generally either something creative or quite possibly with fashion or owning my own business, or with animals, like rescue animals. Like that's the three things where it's like, okay, there's that, and then you gotta break it down to the next thing or whatnot. And I kind of trickle in multiple different things, I guess, but sometimes I get so mad at myself for just not being able to like figure it out, or I've been severely like unmotivated and just like don't want to get out of bed, but I'm like doing all these research on things that like I could possibly do, but I have to get up and do them, like, because laying in bed is not going to change anything, and I know that, but I have a very difficult time just getting up and doing it for a lot of things. And it's frustrating because it's like you know what you're doing wrong, but you're not necessarily changing it. And I've lived through that pattern over and over and over again, and I've gotten better at it at times, and right now I'm not really good about it, and it's making me not like myself. And I don't really have any other reasons to dislike myself. I'm not being a bad person. I don't feel as though I'm being a bad friend. I'm not doing anything shady or shitty. I'm like, I feel like I'm, like I'm a good person. It's not anything like I hate myself because I'm a piece of shit that's like, fucking with other people or making other people unhappy or whatever. It's just like I'm not satisfied with myself because I feel like I know that I have more potential and I'm not utilizing it. I'm getting mad at myself, but the lack of motivation is making me not utilize that potential more and more, or less and less. I'm not sure which phrase would be right. And it's just exhausting. I just want to be like motivated again, or just like so motivated that I'm like really kicking ass and getting shit done. And I feel like the only way that I'm doing that is when I'm under like extreme pressure and doing like too much. So I don't know. I feel like as a young adult, this is not an uncommon thing, and I'm not the only person to feel that way. So I think it's just like something, obviously, I feel like people who do and don't have mental illnesses like can relate to that. It's not me pinpointing it on one or the other. But I know that it's not an uncommon thing, so in the case that you're feeling that way too, it's like hey, you're not alone. I feel like that a lot lately, and so I guess that's the main gist of that. I know I don't really have a whole lot of structure in these things. It's just me getting my thoughts out, because they tend to get jumbled in my mind, and then I just, sometimes when I do let them out, it's like extremely frustrated, and I'm taking it out on someone, especially mainly one person I live with and love, and it's not a fair thing to do that to somebody. So I guess that's why, I mean, from here I need to start writing more in a journal. I've been jotting down numbers more, but that's not therapeutic enough for me at all right now. Yeah, so unfortunately those words are repetitive in my mind, and I'm trying to move past it and like get to a point where it's like I do not hate myself. I do love myself, and like where those words stay further out of my mind longer, or like, you know, just not as often, or eventually not at all maybe, but I don't know if anybody can relate to that aspect, in the sense of like feeling like you hate yourself or whatever, or if you like say that to yourself and you're just like, oh, like such a bummer to be so against myself. So there's that thought of the day. Figure out what my dog is chewing on. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So I'm gonna end it here before I yell at my dog on this. So, leave any comments, questions, topics, whatever. If you have a series of questions for me, I'd be glad to just like write it out or print it out from what you've written and like answer that in like a video. Or if you don't want to talk publicly about anything, I can just, I'm not always great at texting or messaging back. I'm actually really fucking horrible about it, but can try. So that's this one. What is it? September 27th, 2017. Jesus, my dog's nails. So that's that. Have a good rest of your day. This video serves no entire purpose except to be like a verbal journal out loud talking about shit that's on my mind. So until next time, bye.